My plan for today, well, a little bit more organizing, but I have a couple of projects I want to try to do. One is this light on this scanner that I went toward Oil Park the other day to see and found out that it's actually a part of the LED display. But I noticed if I put a light in front of it, that it lights up everything in reverse. So I want to see if there's a way of getting one of these little grain of wheats or a light, even if I have to go with a bright light, inside somehow, through between the cover and the actual display, if it'll give me a little bit of light. So like I say, at this point, I mean, it works. It's old. So if I screw it up in any way, shape, or form, it's not a real big deal. I mean, I don't care what it looks like at this point either. You know, I mean, if I got to have light bulbs hanging off the sides and stuck up its ass, you know, well, at that point, excuse my language, I don't care. As long as I can notice or see the display, because you know it's kind of tough. The digits are lighting up, but you can't see the small digits up top, and if it isn't right angle, you can't really notice it. And I like to be able to just look at it. Now I can tell when I'm listening who's talking, but if I want to do any actual scanning with it, I'd like to be able to see what bank I'm scanning on. So I'm going to take it apart. You guys seen that happen before, so I'm not going to put you guys through that again. And if I start getting involved a little bit, I'll let you know what I'm doing. I'll give you a showing. Okay, now I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but this is plastic, or whatever you want to call it. And it's thick, and the display is actually part of it, and that's all there is to it. Now, I notice if I take this little piece of grain of wheat, or wheat grain, whatever you want to call it, and if I put it next to this plastic, clear plastic right there, see how it kind of lights up? Because it reflects through the plastic. If I put it over here, it also kind of lights up, if you see what I mean. So what I'm thinking here is, I've got two of these. Put one on each side. You can actually see it reflecting across to the other side. Over here. I don't know, watch and I'll show you what I mean. Let me make sure I'm not shorting anything out over here, but hold on. See how it's going? See how it's there again? So I'm thinking, if I epoxy a couple in there, I may be able to get this to light up enough so that I can see what I need to see. Because I have to be with it. I can't be behind it because of the board. I can't be in front of it because of the reflection. So if I put it right there, that seems to have done it. So I'm going to mix a little epoxy, and I'm going to get the other one out, and we're going to put those there. Now, the thing is, they're not in anybody's way if they don't work, so I don't care. So let me get the other one that I think I have hanging over. Yeah, I've got some Gorilla Glue. But I notice with the Gorilla Glue, what happens is that it likes to swell up a little bit. And I really haven't got room for that to start happening and start moving things around or doing whatever it is it does. So I'll just use a little epoxy. I store these upside down, by the way. This way they're always at the tip. I drilled two little holes in the shelf up here. The fuck is this? Hold on, guys. For some reason, my solder iron here wants to be difficult today. I guess I'll have to put some epoxy on it. Alright, so let's mix this up. So today is Tuesday, like I said. Need a minute. And that basically tells everybody that alright, so we're going to let those sit there for a few minutes. I'm going to take the rest of this epoxy and I'm going to put it on the base of this solder iron, because apparently this solder iron wants to be difficult today. It's an old piece of sandpaper that's no good anymore. Alright, so what the plan is trying to get this back together with all this in there, which shouldn't be an issue at that point. I'll let it dry. You know, it's one of those things to where there was really no way of doing it and kind of like having it together enough to turn power on, because it's just the way everything is stuck in there, you're not going to be able to do it to get powered up. So that's kind of where we're at. Alright, I'm going to let that sit there and dry. We don't need to sit here and watch the paint dry, or in this case the glue dry, so I'll be back. Okay, so now we're back over here. And these little things seem to be just fine. They seem to have taken and set in just right. What I want to do now is hook up some power to them. Power! You know, I keep putting the strippers away. Why do I keep doing that? I guess it's one of those days today. I'm just not organized or something. You know? Because I normally don't put things away until I'm done doing the job. Or done with them. So, we know this is the ground. We do. And this is the power. And there's that light. See? You see that? Oh, maybe not see it here. Okay, there's a light there. Hold on. I think you might be able to see it now. Alright, but anyway, that's that one. And we have another one over here. Now this one shouldn't really make a difference on either way, which way it goes. This one's a little brighter. Wow, okay. Okay, so it doesn't make a difference there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the two so-called grounds. I'm going to twist them together. And it should work when I ground out the board, because this is a ground strap that grounds out the board. So I'm going to just put that in there like that. Now as far as finding voltage, if I can find the switch, I'll hook them up to the switch. I just got to find out. Well, here's the switch over here. So let's see. Let's get the ohmmeter out. Oh, it left it on. Good thing it's got auto shut off. Okay. So I'm just looking for power. I guess I'm going to have to put this together a little bit though before I find that. Alright, so let's do that. Let's do that. So let's see. This goes in this way. No, it goes this way. There you go. Good switch. Good plate. And this. Oh, I gotta put this back on. I knew there was something. We're getting there. Yes, we are. Except for this piece. Didn't plan on that. I'll show you in a minute what I didn't plan on. I didn't plan on this piece because that goes down right where I put the epoxy, so I had to bend it up. And now that I bent it up, it's going to be in the way of the screws. So, let me get my nibbler. Hold on, guys. Let me get the nibbler. If I can remember what drawer I put it in. Oh, that's electronic stuff, or electric. Oh, nibbler. They call it modify. Modify. Certifiable. Modifiable. Okay, that should work. Okay, so that takes these screws. So let's get this in place. I knew it wasn't. It didn't feel right. As soon as I put the screw in there, it just didn't feel like it's right. Now this, the ground, should be just fine because I'm hoping that there's enough here. Yes, there is enough wire. When I ground this to the board using one of these screws, must be this one. Goes right through that old eye. Right through the eye? Well, hopefully right through the eye. There. Jeez. That's the problem. I put the wrong screw in the wrong hole. Boy, am I on the ball today, huh? There. Let me see what's going on over here. Turn this down. Aww. Aww. I don't believe I'm having all these dumb problems today. Okay. And I'm going to attempt to solder onto a switch today? Oh boy. Oh boy. There. Okay, so we got the ground done. I'm done with the nibbler, so let me get all this out of the way before I end up getting cut or end up with a piece of this shit in my finger, or worse yet, my boys get it in their foot. Alright, now put this back in there where it belongs. These could be a pain in the butt at times. Getting these ribbons into the little plug that they belong into. There we go. There we go. There. All right. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, George. So what I'm going to attempt to do is get all this back together once I figure out. Well, I better just get it bolted on there. That's going to be the best bet. Snap in. Snap in. Screw. That's this one here. Now the only thing I may have to do, there we go, is change that one ground wire on this right here that you may or may not be able to see. I may have to put it to chassis or just tie it. Yeah, it should work. We'll see what happens. You never know what they put in the way. Alright, so this one goes here and the speaker will go there. I'm not worried about the speaker right now. However, I do have to get these in. And these can be a pain in the butt. went in easy enough. Wow. That was quite shocking. Well, one went in nice and easy, and the other one's going to be a pain in the butt. The buttocks. As Mr. Forrest Gump would say, the buttocks. The pain in the buttocks. There. Okay. I don't care about this because I don't plan on installing it into anything anyway. That's what these are for, by the way. They go in the side here. So if you're going to install it onto a car bracket or something, it gives you a place to put. What do we have here? We have a wire here. The first thing I want to do is I got to hook this up to power. And it turns on and it turns off. Okay. Let's go to voltage here. Voltage. Still turn on, turn off? Yep, turn on, turn off. Okay. What I want to do, let's get some of this out of the way. Hold on. Alright, what I'm doing here is I got a black for ground, because I want to probe for power on that switch to see what side I need to use. So, again, the chassis, I'm thinking, it's going to have ground on it. So now, let's go over here. And the switch is the bottom one. Well, maybe the chassis doesn't have ground on it. I'm going to have to go to board ground. Okay, let's go to this. See, I should have had it though. Well, we'll see what happens. I am on voltage here, right? Yeah, okay. So let's turn this off. Let me touch that one. Nothing there. Nothing there. Come on, you're gonna have voltage here somewhere, guys. That gave me a little shimmer. Ah, wait a minute. Okay, we got voltage there. That's constant on. What's this one? There it is. See how far it drops. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, or trying to do. We have, this is the voltage side of the switch, so you're seeing 14.5 or so. I think you might be able to see that, I don't know. 14.5 volt. This side over here is the closed side of the switch, which is showing like zilch, it's draining, so there's nothing there. But when I turn it on, bingo, we're up to 11, and that's fine because that's all I need to run those bulbs. So I have to solder to that second pin in there, which you're probably not going to see. Let me see if I can zoom this in enough. Come on, focus. Get that out of the way. It's trying, but it's not going to do it. hold on, back it up a little bit. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No? Okay, so basically, hopefully we can see this. This board back here is the switch. This is the squelch up here. The second pin back, right there. That's the one I have to solder a wire to. This is constant here. So that's voltage coming into the switch. And that is voltage going to the board once you hit the switch. And that's what feeds and powers the board. So I have to put it on that wire. So I'm going to disconnect the power, let it drain. And try. Now I'm not going to hook up these two wires directly to that. I'm going to just run one wire to that because it'll be easier. And then I'll attach these two wires to that one wire. Now you may or may not be able to see what I'm going to do from this side. And it's not a big deal anyway, so you may not even care. You know, you see the switch, but you can't see. Well, you might be able to see it. That one's closest to you, that one right there. This one right here. Let me turn the solder iron on. Get that fired up. Fired up. And let me get this jumper out of the way while that's heating up. Put this little jumper back. And this has got to be Comcast. Hey Miguel, what's up? Alright, that was Miguel. That's the guy from Comcast. Well, he said he was going to call back when he came in today. He did. Alright, now, this is going to be power, so I prefer to use a red wire. A skinny red wire if I have one, which I do. Good. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off about, let's see, it is going to be soldered. So let me cut off enough to work with here. I'm going to cut off about 9 inches. Let me get the little solder roll. And let me get a little flux. Let me do this. And let me do this. Okay, so what I had done so far is I stripped both sides of the wire, which you can't see because I'm hitting. Okay, this side I stripped a little bit longer. This side I stripped shorter because this is the side that's going to have to go to that thing, that little solder joint there. So let me put a little flux on this. Let me tin it a little bit. Hopefully the solder iron's hot enough to do some tin. Okay. So I put a little tin, a little solder on it. Ow. And burn my finger. Right there. So now what I want to do is, because I don't want all that, so I'm going to cut it off so that I have just that. I want as little as possible. And I'll put a little flux on it, so hopefully it'll help. You may not see what I'm going to do now because I may get in your way. Good. You guys didn't see that, but there it is. Now we're going to come around this side. I'm going to bring this through. And I'm going to put these two together. But first, let's get it up so you can see what I'm talking about. And let's get rid of the zoom a little bit so it's not so damn tight. There we go. Okay, I'm going to hook those two together. But first, I want to put a piece of heat shrink on it. Whoops. One's too thin, the other's too thick. You know what? We're just going to have to go with the white and overdo it. And overheat it. So I know the white will fit. So let's do this. Let's take this up here. So that's ready, which you didn't see. Let's get the solder iron. Let's get some solder. Let's put a little flux on it. And let's just kind of get some solder on this a little bit. Make sure those are together. Nicey, nicey. Come down here and burn the paint on the table while I put more solder on that. Okay, so that's nicey, nicey. I'm just going to trim this a little bit because we don't want all that. Now normally I would have just wrapped them together, kind of like this, before I put the solder on them, because that would have been the right thing to do, but jumping ahead because Miguel's going to call me back. So now I'm screwing up a little bit. Because normally, before you solder them, you'd want to twist them together. It would be a better connector, for sure. But this will work. Okay, let me turn the solder iron off. Let's bring this up here. Let's get my little blowtorch. Now I could use the little desolder heat gun tool on the other solder iron, but I got this right here. If I was using that solder iron, I would have thought about it. Oh yeah, hot, hot. Okay, so just a matter of where I want to put that wire. But meanwhile, if I plug this in, okay, no shorts. If I turn this on, we have light in the background. See it? We didn't have that before. See the light? So we're fixed. That's done. Put that down there for now. Put the case. Oh, this Fachim antenna. That's the antenna that the company sent me to try. I've never dealt with them before. And I couldn't find anything on the antenna. So he sent it to me. He says, check it out, see how you like it. You know, he says, I'm curious to see what you think. I don't know if tickler, if that's the word or not, but you know what I mean. So put it on the line. I lost the black screw. I ended up with a silver one. Okay. Well, that's a start. I took it apart before and I put it together and everything fit. Why did it not work this time? Well, the thread's the same, it's just the head's a little different. So, all right, so now I can put this back up over there because it now has a light in it. Yeah, it does. Let me hook it up, I'll be right back. May not be able to see it because of the glare, but I can read that whole display now. And it works. So, just something you gotta put your mind to sometimes. And by having all these little parts laying around to kind of experiment with and do what we gotta do, it kind of like helped out. Took a little bit of time, but it did the job.